Hello and welcome to Safari Catch Up. This is a daily wrap of the best wildlife sightings from the last 24 hours.
Wow, what a start. Look at this. Who do we have here, everybody? Who do we have here? It's Ribbon. Oh my word, we've got Ribbon. Can you believe it? This is a hyena that we have not seen I haven't seen for a long time. And yeah, and that must be, of course, one of her cubs. That is brilliant. She's like, yeah, she's looking good. And a matriarch. We think she's the matriarch of the northern hyena clan. No, this is special. What a way to start this morning's drive. As I said, I haven't seen that hyena for a long time. And that must be Chit or eBay, the one that's in front of her, one of her cubs. She's got two. I'm not too sure where's the other one, but they've grown up quite a bit. Oh my word.
All of these little mud wallows around the reserve have gotten water, and we can see that this whole puddle here was wet not so long ago, and it's still been quite wet, but it's drying up. The mud is dissipating, and in the small recess of water that's left, we've got some tadpoles. That one is starting. There's a little one walking over there. Oh my goodness, the transition's happening. Transition's happening. Here, this little frog. Still got the tail.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got the 4 legs. These guys might make it. So once they start getting the legs, they've gone from having gills to then lungs as well. What's happening there in the water, those guys are churning it up and there's bubbles, which means that they're breathing. And they won't be breathing in the water. They'll actually be sucking air out of the oxygen out of the air. And here is one fellow. Can you see him?
Yeah.
And he's got the 4 legs have formed, and he's at that stage where the tail will drop off soon. Oh my goodness, you don't see this very often. I haven't seen this in a while.
So this morning I was coming to look for some lions, and here I was lucky to find one of the Black Rock main dominant males. So the rest of the pride is around here. I can see his brother on the other side. So this is Manuele, and Olebor is around there, just behind him. Look at him. Bright colors coming in because the sun is rising. Oh, he decided to lay down there. Wow. Probably he's tired. So the distance between the two brothers is only about 30 meters. And I can see the other brother now scent marking. Beautiful landscape looking to the east. So that is the Ngama Hills way out there. Look at his mane there.
Well, we're here very close to where the bat-eared fox den is. Unfortunately, no bat-eared foxes, but we've got a mammal of a different sort here. We've got 2 of our 3 female lions. Have a look at them. Beautiful, beautiful ladies. And now she is on the move somewhere, while the big lady sits underneath the bush. I think she's done a fair amount of walking around and not too keen to continue. They were spotted along this road earlier this morning, and are now sort of kind of moseying their way perhaps towards that side where there are a couple of antelope, unsuspecting antelope. It's what she's watching now. She's watching a herd of red hartebeest, but the red hartebeest I think may have seen her. They're quite far away, but she's watching them with intent.
There we go. This is the rare brown parrot, and that looks like a pair. Looks like they're very playful. Yeah, they actually can be in pairs or in small flocks. I can hear more around this area, and very much like any other parrots, they feed on seeds, fruit, even cultivated crops. They'll feed on them. Yeah, this is a special bird. We rarely get to see it on film. You can see it's, portraying all the parrot behavior that you know. Yes, sir, look at that. Just wonderful. These guys nest on hollow trees, and they can be highly, highly gregarious. I don't know if we're gonna see him again, but they don't stick around for very long. I don't blame them in that hour where they should be catching something to eat. I don't see them anymore, but I can hear them.
Well, everybody, it is the first Amur falcon of the season for me, a male. But they arrive for the insects as early as November, departing as early as March. Coming all the way from East Asia, large flocks where it breeds. So we call that a Palearctic migrant, so coming from north of the Sahara Desert. Any bird that comes and visits us here from north of the Sahara Desert in Africa, we call a Palearctic migrant. And normally, none of them breed. The only Palearctic migrants we have that breed here are cuckoos. So with the diets of mainly insects, these birds travel a very long way, from Asia through India, across into Africa, where unfortunately their numbers are decreasing at an alarming rate due to human interference and people trying to catch them. We should be finding groups of them soon if we've got the first one.
Yes, look at this, guys. One of the most photographed bird in the world, if not Africa. Lilac-breasted roller, and he's doing the same thing as the other birds we saw this morning, hoping that the sun will come. It's going to become easier to fly when the feathers are much drier. From where he is, he's also trying to locate some grasshoppers, some praying mantises, little lizards, or even small snakes. That's what they feed on, and they have ability to fly down and grab them. That beak is adapted for both crushing and stabbing, and so it is a very well adapted beak. This is another bird that nests on hollow trees, just like the brown parrot we were talking about earlier. And I would say their den is not very far, or the crevice is not very far from where we are.
We can see 3 species. We can see the Thompson gazelle, the small one, and we can see in the foreground, we can see the Grant's gazelle and impala. So all these species here, they've come here for common purpose, for security, and also because it's a shorter grazing ground. As you can see, there's no fights whatsoever. You can see lilac. We call that interspecies, species interdependence. So when we see different species together, sometimes we see Thompson gazelle here, Grant's gazelle, impala, and in the background we've seen a little bit of, zebra, warthogs. But most of the time, when all species are together, so they know, they've always been associating themselves. They know that zebras sometimes have good eyes, Thompson gazelle have good eyes, and also Grant's gazelle. So there is strength in numbers and also so many eyes. So when they're all together like this, it means that this vigilance is high.
Look at that, guys. We're just driving not very far from this log, which is an old Wimbogia uganensis tree that fell down due to many reasons, and it has created a niche for this Nile monitor lizard to thrive. Those hollow crevices provide a perfect refuge for these guys to safeguard their lives during the night. And in this area, there is plenty of places to hide and also plenty of food for him. They have been known to be crocodile nest raiders, feeding on crocodile eggs and other bird eggs, venomous snakes, insects, birds, fishes. So they have a wide menu and it's easily available over here. I don't know what he thinks of me, but I can tell that he's relaxing. He's enjoying that morning sun.
Hello, my girl. Yo, we're tracking this female now this morning. She's really given us the runaround. Nancy F, thank you so much. Yeah, it is a last minute leopard is always a good thing. Definitely. Hello. Oh, but that almost looked like Clalamba, eh? Yeah, it looks like Clalamba to me. There's also the leopard tracks coming further north, coming up this side. So, interesting part about this now at the moment is that this female, Clalamba, and her half-sister, an older female known as Kuchava, both of them is pretty much, they've got cubs of, not cubs now, they're youngsters, sub-adults of about 1 year and 8 months. So you'll find this female, Clalamba, and the other female, Kuchava, they'll be going into heat very, very shortly. But, yeah, interesting times, everybody.
This is one of the most impressive bulls on Sandringham. An enormous big tusk there that's broken in probably a fight or in a tree gouging incident. We'll start seeing who the big dominant bulls on Sandringham are. January, February, those that come into the sustained must period. 2-3 months. See if that works here on Sandringham as well as in the massive big open systems. Exactly, Leander. It even looks more intimidating with it having broken like that. It's feeding on some leaves, but right now they are really making maximum effort on the grasses that are springing forth from the rains that we've had. Saw the reserve manager yesterday, and he hasn't given me the exact number, but he also agrees it's been a good rainfall already. November. It's been that nice steady rainfall that really benefits the grass layer.
Yeah, this play is very important because they are developing those little muscles to make those legs much stronger. Everything they are doing right now is very, very important for the rest of their lives. It is believed that they have evolved from a very dirty cut to adapt to these open plains, and the ones were very spotted, but to adapt to these open plains here in East Africa, they lost their spots along the way, and they can be very prominent when they're young, and as they go on, they tend to lose them, giving them that tawny brown golden color. So sometimes they lose them completely, and sometimes they leave a few, but when they're young, they're very, very prominent. But the one to the right, I can tell, it's very, very sporty. It's, one of a rare case. I haven't seen one this sporty before, but it will lose them. When they're young, it's normal for them to have those spots. It helps them, hide better. It's a good camouflage. It adds to the camouflage, in the bushes. So it's very, very important. Look at that. Hello. Very inquisitive.
Oh, fantastic. What an afternoon, everybody. I mean, we've got beautiful, actually, we had a beautiful herd of elephants busy wallowing in these mud pools. And guess what? We've got a big white rhino bull that is also in this wallow, as you can see, very much loving life on a very, very hot afternoon. A perfect place for elephants, for a rhino to be wallowing. I think I'm very envious of him at the moment. It looks so good. Oh, there we go. Trying to cake his body with a bit of mud. Cooling down there. Look at that. He's going to look for maybe another position to lie down. There we go. Oh, the other side. Making sure you're going to cover both sides. As you can see, loving it. Very important for these animals to go for these wallows on hot days like this, because that mud, as well as the water, it just cools their body down so much more, as well as getting rid of all those parasites that's busy looming around and also on their body.
Well, have a look at this. There you can now see a bit of the belly. I mean, it could do with a little bit more filling. Maybe it was like a little daker or something that they might have caught. Definitely not enough to have filled them. Such beautiful cats, really. This boy has obviously been in a bit of a tussle with somebody. I don't know what has happened to you, but your nose is looks a bit sore. Rachel, absolutely. I must agree with you on that one. They have grown into these magnificent, handsome, little, not so little, gentlemen. They've worked very well together to achieve what they have.
Alright, we're going to whole lot of impalas and babies. Mommies and lambs, mommies and babies all over the show here. Plenty. Little nursery, happening on the left. There's some young ones to the right. Ah, lovely time of the year. All the impala lambs being around. They are quite adorable. They're very cute. I might just go a little bit forward, Paul? No, sorry. I'm just going a little bit forward, yeah. Oh, they will run away. Ay, ay, ay. Let's see if we can go in there. Okay, there we go. Darren, Karen or Darren, I don't know, but yeah, no, it's beautiful time of the year, lambing season, very, very precious.
And welcome back, everybody. It's a feeding frenzy here in the wildebeest midden. And wildebeest is behind us, shouting his defiance. He's like, "Why are you filming my poo?" We're not. We are filming the dung beetles that are quickly dealing with your dung and removing it. This open sandy patch is a classic wildebeest scratching section. There's a wildebeest tracks over here. There's a wildebeest hair over there. He came here not long ago, defecated, and the dung beetles are making short work of it. There's 3 or 4 of them charging away all over the place, and it's warm. When it's warm like this, these black beetles are very active, warmed up by the sun. Look how he's just grabbing more and more and more. The objective is for these dung beetles to accumulate the dung, make a ball, roll it away, bury it, often having mated so the female lays an egg inside, but it's to move away from the resource. You'll make it as large as it needs to be, very specific size per dung beetle.
It's cooling down here, and you can see our lion has come to a rocky patch because it's warm from the sun that hit this area during the day. And it looked like he's going to spend a little bit of time as we also wind up heading back to camp because it's getting dark. I can see some of the pride members are coming around here, but still covered in the bushes there. In the background I can see all of them, all the youngsters are trying to come over this area because it rained a little bit, and I think it's a little bit wet in the grass, and that's why he's decided to come here. Let's just take a moment of silence before I say kwaheri. Jackie, what a beautiful boy. This is Manuele, his brother Olibor is nowhere to be seen at the moment, but in the morning they were together because they had a zebra kill yesterday, and it looks like he's had enough, but probably they're going to make another kill because I've seen some zebras around and the youngsters are advancing to where the zebras are before coming here.
There is one very playful guy who seems to be inspecting every corner of this mill. And sometimes he's not having luck because he's dropping like we just seen. But the other guy, the really dark one with the spots, is very seriously, eating. Now that I've said that, the playful guy looks like he's had me. He doesn't want me to continue talking about how playful he is. And now maybe he might eat. Let's see. This is the mother. She just came back. And for some reason, there's an area he's trying to get to over there. Yeah, that guy is still playful. Yeah, he's not eating much. He's moving around while the other guy is, really feeding. Very important and very smart. I think this lighter guy had eaten quite a lot, and it's time to try and release a bit of that energy that he accumulated earlier.
We've finally found our elephants swimming here at the big dam. Always enjoy how much they enjoy it, how tactile they are in their weightless environment. It must be such a pleasure after having been so heavy all day to suddenly be there in the water, buoyant. Remember their full gas chamber in the back there, and their lungs are attached to their spine, so they are very buoyant in the water and excellent swimmers. The big storm that was approaching earlier has bypassed and gone north, and another one is coming from, or it is in the Highveld, shrouding the clouds. We would have a beautiful sunset about now in about 10-15 minutes. But that's okay, we'll stay with the elephants because the sunset is gone. Look at that. Ellie's swimming. We wanted to see it this afternoon. Checked a number of water points unsuccessfully.
Alright, we are back here with the Queen Kalamba. And she's still up here in this tree, this marula tree. Still enjoying her little warthog prize. I think that little warthog is not going to go that far. At least it's a good old snack, good meal for now. But she'll show interest in something else again later tonight. I'm sure she's going to finish that baby warthog very quickly. It's a little piglet. I mean, maybe a few weeks old. It's a small piglet. This female, Kalamba, she was born in 2017. November 2017. So that makes her 8 years old now. So she's 8. So it's a good age. Just starting, she's into her prime already, but she's still got many years to go. And then her beautiful mother was the female that I just mentioned now, old Thandi. And her father was a stunning male that we got to see as well, a male known as Tingana. And then coming to her name, Tlalamba. Tlalamba means playful. So that's in Shangaan means playful. Tlalamba. Apparently when she was a cub, she was very playful and very mischievous. So that's exactly where she got her name from.
It's been a lovely afternoon on this side of the reserve elephants. As we return back to the side, we have some more. Keeping cool is the challenge, everybody, for most animals. Warming up can be achieved through eating and movement, but keeping cool and finding water, conserving water, is very important. Oh, here's our lady with the tusk that goes underneath. You seen her before, Cam? Yeah, she's a relaxed girl.
That's it for this episode of Safari Catch Up. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you soon on a safari.